Hey, welcome back. So let's see what we got so far. We have a list of posts, and each post is displaying properly. It has the title, it has the post meta, it has the content. So we're looking good. But one key component that's missing here is the post navigation, which means those two links for older posts and newer posts. So let's go ahead and add that one. So I'm going to jump back to my index.php, and after the end while is complete, I'm going to say this php alpha paging nav. This is a function that we're going to create inside functions PHP that will display those two links I was talking about. So right here in the end, it's function number 6, and it's going to say display navigation to the next previous set of posts. Okay, we start with the usual check. If the function doesn't exist, alpha paging nav, then we're going to create it ourselves. So function alpha paging nav. I'm going to close the PHP tag here because I want to add some HTML. So I'm going to say ul, and after this I'm going to restart the PHP tag. And inside, we're going to do this. PHP, we're going to say if get previous posts link. So this is another way of saying if we have previous posts, then I'm going to do a list item with a class of next. And inside, I'm going to say PHP previous posts link. And as a parameter, this can receive the title of the link. And in my case, I'm going to use a translatable string. I'm going to say newer posts and an arrow. And then alpha as the text domain. And then we're going to close the if and the if inside a PHP tag, of course. And then it's the next post link. So I'm going to say if get next posts link, then we're going to have a list item with a class of previous. I know it's counterintuitive that we have next and previous here and previous and next here, but that's the way it's going to go. So next post link, and I'm going to say here older posts, add a small arrow, and that's basically it. So let's try it. Okay. We have some extra markup here that is not needed. PHP and if. Okay, so this is not needed and this is not needed. Refresh. And there we go, older posts. Okay, and this goes to page number 2. And then we have newer posts, which goes to the home page. Okay, cool. Coming back to our index page here, there are 3 components missing from it. And they are components that are common to all pages: the header, the sidebar, and the footer. So the header, you include it like this: PHP get header. That's a function that will load header.php. Next, we have the sidebar, PHP get sidebar, and this will load sidebar.php. And then we have the footer. So get footer, and this will load footer.php. Okay, so now if we refresh, notice we have the admin bar. It appeared on the top now. It wasn't there before. And we have a notice. It says that themes without header PHP are deprecated. So the next thing we got to do is create our header.php. And notice the themes without footer PHP are deprecated. What you see here are basically defaults generated by WordPress. Yeah, and the stuff you see here, yeah, this is the default sidebar. But we'll get to that very soon. First, let's take care of this header. So let's go to header. Let's create it actually. Header.php, PHP, header.php, and a small description. And then Basically, we're going to have like a traditional starting block for the header because this will be common to all of the pages. So it must contain the starting blocks for the HTML, the head, and the body of our page. So I'm going to paste in this HTML starting block and make a couple of changes to it. First of all, instead of lang equals en, we're going to replace this with PHP language attributes. Next is the char set. So instead of hard coding one, I'm going to say PHP blog info char set. Now, blog info is a function that will return various information about your blog. In this case, we pass in the char set parameter to return our actual char set. Next is the title. Now, for the title, we're going to do something like this. We're going to use the WP title function, which accepts a number of parameters. First one is the separator, and we're going to use the pipe there. The next parameter is a Boolean parameter, which tells WordPress whether to display the title or use it as a parameter for another function, for example. In our case, we're just going to put true because we want to display the title. And the third parameter is the location of the separator. So in my case, I'm going to put it to the right. Okay, and once the title is being shown, I'm going to put in another PHP here. I'm going to say blog info name. So the way this works, let's refresh. If we go to a particular page, template sticky, for example, notice the page title will be template sticky, that pipe separator, which is on the right, and then WordPress 3.9, which is the name of our blog. What else? Meta name description. In here, I'm just going to put PHP blog info description. So we're getting the description from the blog. Name, author, you can put your name here, for example, but I'm just going to delete it right now. Mobile specific meta, we need this. And then we have the Apple icons and the favicon. Now, for the favicon, I'm going to do PHP echo favicon. And favicon is a variable that I'm going to create right now. So PHP favicon will be equal to images / icons / favicon.png. And I'm doing it in a variable so that you can change it later on much easier. And let's do the same with the touch icon for mobile devices. So right here, I'm going to say get the fav icon. And in here, I'm going to say get the custom touch icon. So touch icon will be equal to images again, / icon / it's going to be called Apple touch icon 152 by 152 - pre-compose.png. And this is an icon that will be used on the majority of the devices. Okay, so echo favicon. And for the touch icon, we're going to say actually a single link with the rel Apple touch icon pre-composed. The size will be 152 by 152, and the href will be PHP echo touch icon. Okay, now we got to add those icons, and I've already prepared them, so I'm going to copy some images into the images folder. I'm going to show you real quick. We have a logo here, and then we have a logo for Retina devices, and then inside the icons I have my pre-composed Apple touch icon, and then the 16 by 16 favicon. Now for the header PHP, in the head portion of the document, we gotta add this hook right here. We're gonna do PHP WP head. Now this is a hook. It will load different things regarding the theme. It needs to be there. Okay, so now refresh. And as you can see, by loading WP head, we now have a correct padding on the top of our document. And if we take a look at the source, so view page source, yeah, we can see that by adding WP head, we have this inline style right here, which adds some margin top to the HTML. Okay, so our page is starting to take shape, really cool. And the next thing we got to do is add the page header. That's the common element to all pages, and the page header should contain the logo and the site navigation. That's coming up in the next lesson.